Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again for our time together. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and God is going to continue to bless all the work of your hands. I want to talk to you today about what's in your hands. Do you remember how God repetitively tells us in the Scripture to look at what's in our hand? What's in your hand? In other words, what are you capable of doing right now? In our devotional thought today from 1 Samuel chapter 17, I want you to notice how the same principle worked with young David. In the beginning of the chapter, David ran with fear along with his brothers and everybody else, but then he began to hear about the reward. And the reward motivated him to begin to think and to begin to stretch his faith a little bit. But we always talk about the faith part. Let's talk about the thinking part. He saw Goliath. He saw the huge helmet on his head. He saw the thick armor. He saw the thick armor on his legs. And he realized that nobody had a weapon that could cut through that armor. It wasn't just that Goliath was 9 feet tall. It's that his body was strong enough to carry such heavy armor that nobody had anything, no arrows could pierce it. But David saw it, and David began to think. Now maybe we begin to understand why when we get over into verse 38. Saul dressed David in his own tunic, put a coat of armor on him, a bronze helmet on his head. David fastened on a sword over his tunic and tried walking around, but because he was not used to them, he said, I can't go in these. I'm not used to them. So he took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in his pouch of his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in his hand, approached the Philistine, with his sling in his hand. See, sometimes, brothers and sisters, we try to function like people tell us to function in order to win a battle, and we don't function as ourselves. David was not skilled with a sword, and even if he was, it wouldn't be able to cut through the armor of Goliath's shield and his armor. David was not skilled with a bow, and even if it was, it wouldn't cut through that armor. But David was skilled with a sling. At some point in this running, David figured out there's only one way I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to put a rock right in the middle of his forehead. Now, shepherds were very skilled with stones and slings because that's what they threw all the time to keep the sheep in place. Sitting out there wasn't a whole lot to do. Shepherd boys were incredible with a slingshot and a stone. David used what was in his hand. Now what I want you to see is this, brothers and sisters. You look at a Goliath in your life. You look at a huge problem in your life. Rather than looking at what can't be done, look at what's in your hand. What are you capable of doing? What skill do you have that will exploit the weakness of your problem? Let me say that one more time. What skill do you have that will exploit the weakness of your problem? Goliath's weakness is the front of his face was clear. David knew he could hit it. Now, yes, he had to run to the battle, plant his foot so that there'd be enough momentum for that stone to knock him out, for that stone to kill him, for that stone to knock him down. Yes, David had to do some things. But David knew he had a skill that could exploit the one weakness that Goliath had, the front of his face. What skill is in your hand? What tool is in your hand that can exploit the one weakness your insurmountable problem has? And then trust God to help you.